Okay, I'll show you a problem I've had. Clamps that won't clamp. I have clamps that are 30 years old and they're starting to wear, they get smooth through here. They actually can wear out. But it may be newer clamps. You clamp them down, you twist them, keep spinning, they just won't clamp. You can grab and hold and you can feel this moving. And it seems like no matter what you do, you're ready to chuck it in the dumpster. Well, before you lose your patience, let me show you what I do with them. The clamp's designed to tighten down. That makes this cock and bite. And there's a rough edge here and here, but it's either not rough enough or it gets smooth over the years and it's just not biting anymore. So here's a crude method you can use to fix that. You put it in a vise. It may seem crude, perhaps because it is crude. You can put it in a vise. If I could get you to see this, at some point you got to pick some way to hold. It could be a machinist vise, it could be a woodworking vise. If you take a shim, if your vise is a flush vise, take a shim, you can actually put it in that vise very easy, and it kicks the handles out from your bench face. So that's a good way to hold it. This other vise, I can actually do the same thing with a shim. Anyhow, what you're going to do, I'll show you two ways. This way is not so crude, so if it really bothers you to do the crude way, then do it this way and take a flat file, tip it on its edge about 45 degrees, and begin to make file curves. Go along about every 1/8 of an inch. You don't have to try to hit the actual lines in there. You can jump more than that. Go about every 1/8 of an inch and file a curve in there. You have to do both sides or the clamp won't bite. So that's method number one. You could go along and do that. The method that I like that's faster is to just, I like to go off the bench like this and shim it off of my bench, is to just take a claw hammer, and it's not going to hurt the hammer, but I like to take an old straight claw hammer. Let me see if you're in frame there. And you go along and just peen the back of the clamp, and you're going to want to do the other side, but you go along about every 1/8, 1/16 of an inch. You can be straight, you can be at a little angle, or you can be straight, it doesn't matter. Go along and peen the back of that. I like this method even though it's crude. It's very effective and it's faster. That side's basically done already. I can hit a little more back in the back here. Now, if you could see that, I have peened marks all along the back, and you got to do the other side. Almost got it. You can slide past it and clear out of the way. Oh, and by the way, if this gets a little too rough, just take a file. You're barely filing. You're just knocking the hairs off of those burrs. You just basically deburring it at least a little bit. It's like you're not even really filing, but you're knocking a little bit of burr off of those. That's got both sides. Like I say, what you did feels a little, you can feel it wanting to bite already. And if that's too rough for your taste, try just a little bit of file action. Like that. You don't want to fight it, but you should feel it should want to bite. Now let's try our clamp. It's already biting. Right there is already biting. And I can get some serious force on it now. Get some serious clamping force. Up to its limit. You know, whatever the rated limit of the clamp. Some clamps are 600 pound. This is probably considered a 600 pound clamp. There are 1,000 pound clamps, 1,100 pound clamps. Some of them go beyond that. Some of them are only 200 and 300 pound clamps. Some of the squeeze clamps are only 100 pound clamps. So you know, you have to look at the limit of the clamp itself. But this will get your bite back like that and give you whatever your clamp's capable of again. All by that simple, crude fix. And it's better than chucking this in a dumpster. Now you got a clamp again that clamps. So give that a try for clamps that won't clamp.